You may have missed this today, but, you know, I like the show sometimes to delve deeper into some issues. Sometimes I get passionate about stuff, and sometimes we cover lighter stuff, especially on Fridays. But this is, although this story is almost comical in its ineptitude, it speaks to a bigger issue. It shows how you can report a fact, but frame that fact in a very different way to tell a story different than what the fact says. You may say, wow, now I'm really confused. The New York Times was reporting on a fact-based story. The fact was this, that the State Department spent an absurd amount of money on some designer curtains. Not an untrue story. It's not the story that's true. This is how the media does this. It's the narrative and the framing of the story that makes it appear that, in fact, Nikki Haley, the current ambassador to the United Nations under the Trump administration, had something to do with this extravagant spending. Ladies and gentlemen, leave that headline up. Look at the headline. Most people only read the headline. Sad but true. People live busy lives. If you're reading the New York Times and you read this headline, State Department spent $52,701 on curtains for Nikki Haley's residence with a photo of Nikki Haley. I'm asking you to be reasonable. What is the only logical conclusion you can form from reading that headline and looking at that photograph in the New York Times? That Nikki Haley somehow authorized extravagant spending on curtains for a residence, right? I mean, it's not a dramatic leap of faith to say that. What's the problem? The problem is it's not true. Now, that $52,000 was spent on curtains is true. That's a fact. The narrative framing, the way they frame the story, is complete, total, utter bogus BS. Hat tip legal insurrection for calling them out. It is complete media negligence for doing this. Nikki Haley did not authorize this spending. Matter of fact, if you go down to like the 5th or 6th paragraph of that New York Times story, they say in the story that the spending was authorized under what administration? Who was president? I'm having a brain freeze before Donald Trump. Oh, that's right, Barack Obama. Barack Obama's administration authorized a set of $52,000 curtains for the ambassador's residence before Nikki Haley ever stepped foot in it. It was not her call. She had nothing to do with it. Forcing the fake news New York Times to issue a massive retraction and forcing egg all over their face again. And you wonder why the media constantly is in this position of distrust by conservatives. Here's their correction. And by the way, this is a pretty big walk back. The article should not have focused on Miss Haley. Gee, you think? She had nothing to do with it. The gist of the article is extravagant spending on a set of curtains. She had nothing to do with it. The spending was authorized under the Obama administration. Why would you even include her or a picture? Clearly, it's an effort to hit her. We all know that. And, you know, on a very serious note, folks, this is why I am an avid, vocal, vociferous, robust, vibrant, I can't think of enough adjectives or adverbs to describe how supportive I am of a free press. You will never get me to waver on that. But with freedom comes some responsibility. And with freedom comes the ability for you to act in a dignified manner or to act like idiots. I really just wish you wouldn't take us up on that offer to act like idiots so often. You complain about Trump, you complain about us hitting you guys, and you can't even get a story about some curtain sales right? Come on, guys, seriously. Give us all a break.